Ladies and gentlemen, this story comes out of Virginia. This is the New York Times, January 1st, 2021. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this, but I will read it and give some commentary in between. Um, because I kind of take issue with what this judge is saying. I know where they're going, but they're really off the mark on this one. So, Virginia judge won't try black man in courtroom lined with white portraits. So, you know how you go into a courtroom and they'll have the walls lined with all of these different portraits of different judges. And chances are the vast majority of them are a bunch of white judges. I mean, I see that here even in my state. When you go in a courtroom, I don't think I've ever walked in one instance and seen a black judge portrait. They're usually a lot of white males all lined all around the wall. So this judge wants those portraits removed. In fact, he won't even try a black man in the courtroom until those portraits are removed. So let's get to the story. When a black man appears in a Virginia courtroom this month to stand trial on charges of eluding the police, assaulting an officer, and other crimes, he will face a scene of defendants in the room that have not been experienced in decades. Portraits of white judges will no longer line the walls. A judge late last month ordered the removal of portraits ahead of Terrence Shipp Jr.'s January 4th trial, ruling that the presence of the artwork depicts judges who served in Fairfax County could have suggested that the legal system is biased. But no, those portraits is not what makes the legal system biased. Your actions in those courtrooms against black defendants is what makes your legal system biased. Man, you are off the mark on this one. The judge, David Bernhardt of the Fairfax Circuit Court, wrote this in December 20th opinion that the court was concerned that the portraits might serve as unintended but implicit symbols that suggest the courtroom may be a place historically administered by whites for whites. But it is. This is why a black man and a white man can commit the same crimes, and the white man will still get the lighter sentence. Again, it is the actions of what goes on in the courtroom, not the portraits. This man, he don't have it right, y'all. He don't. The display of portraits of judges in courtrooms of the Fairfax courthouse is based on non-racial principle, yet yields a racial result, he said. The order was in response to a motion filed by Brian Kennedy, a lawyer for Shipp. The idea, Mr. Kennedy said, came from both his client and a murder case in Louisa, Virginia, where a judge this year ordered a life-size portrait of a Confederate general, Robert E. Lee, removed from the circuit courtroom at the defendant's request. The decision underscores a year in which Virginia and the rest of the United States grapple both with implicit bias and overt images of white supremacy, leading to Confederate monuments and other symbols of racism being removed from public places. Well, again, it is the action of what goes on in the courtroom that needs to change. Removing portraits from the wall, but you're still going to be racially biased in a courtroom towards a black defendant. What good is that going to do? So what? You took down a bunch of white judges, but you're still giving sentence out like a damn racist. What good is that going to do a black defendant? It's symbolism. It's nothing beyond that. If you're not going to change the way courts are in this country when they give out sentencing, where you're giving astronomical sentences to black men, but a white man that commits the same crime, you want to go all light handed on him and handle him with kid gloves, then that's a problem. That's what you need to resolve. But removing portraits, you do what you do. Y'all been doing stuff like this for centuries. I don't look at them dried up, crusty looking men you got up on the wall. I don't think anybody should pay them any mind. But the bottom line is, it's not the portraits that you need to change. It is the way courts run in America that needs to change. Okay, back to this. It is not, however, the first time a judge made such a decision. A judge who sought asylum to come to the United States from El Salvador back in the 70s was not permitted portraits in his assigned courtroom since taking the bench in 2017. But because of the coronavirus pandemic, he and other judges in the Fairfax County Courthouse are working out of the building, three largest courtroom to allow for social distancing. And it is one of those where Mr. Ship will be trialed, will have his trial. Okay, so I get that part. The paintings hanging in Fairfax Circuit Court are similar to those found in courtrooms and other government offices around the country, which is true. Which is true. And those portraits are primarily white males. I've been in courtrooms and seen it, you know, but see, that's who you have sitting on the bench to always ensure that we go to jail, even over some of the most remedial things. Every little teeny beany thing, you want to throw somebody in jail from the Black community. And look, y'all, check this out. Every time I do a story on someone getting exonerated, it's automatically demonetized on YouTube. And you see, they don't want to face the reality of everything that has been done to us in this country. That's all that is signaling to me. You just can't handle it. You don't want to hear about it. So let me get back to this. So the judges in Fairfax County have been weeding out other portraits for at least the past 5 years, Mr. Kennedy said. As new judges have been taken the bench, they have removed portraits of people that were clearly Confederates or slave owners, he said, adding that remaining portraits mostly represent judges from modern eras. That's not shocking either. Look, they have always had those Confederate statues around courthouses, blocks away from courthouses. They've always done that. But some of these people will look you in the face and try to act like we're getting a fair shot in these courts, and we know damn well we're not. But you put those Confederate, the Confederates lost, but you put those losing generals all over the place, and this is what you do. This is what you do. And then you try to look somebody in the face talking about your system work. Your system never worked. It works the way you want it to work, but it's not a good system. None of your systems are. We can go there. None of the systems that you run in America are good. So why would anybody expect the courts to be good? Okay, there are portraits of only three Black judges to have served in Fairfax Circuit Court bench. That is Judge Marcus D. Williams, the first court's Black judge. Okay, and he served from 1990 until he retired in 2012. So you did not have a first Black judge in Fairfax until 1990? Woo, that says a lot right there. Okay, and Judge Jarl Bruce Lee, who served from 1992 until 1998 when he became a federal district court judge. The third Black judge, Dante L. Bugg, who was elected in 2019. So in all the years Fairfax Circuit Court existed, they only had 3 black judges, y'all. That is a disgrace. Among the portraits is one of Judge Henry L. Carrico of the Supreme Court of Virginia, who wrote in 1966 opinion Loving versus the Commonwealth, which upheld Virginia ban on interracial marriage. The law has, it's been overturned. It was overturned a year after that court case, by the way. Judge Bernhard noted that the portraits provide no context about their subjects and appear only as a sea of portrait of white judges who, to most members of the public, including juries, the prevalence of portraits of white judges, he said, while not, so he's saying it happens to be that way because this is what they always had in Virginia. But, how do you expect someone to walk in there and get a fair shot and everything in the courtroom is white? I do agree with that, but it is really, I focus more on the actions of what goes on in the courtroom, a little more significant than portraits. And I stand firm on that. A lawyer for the prosecution did not return requests for comment. Judge Bernhard said in his opinion that the prosecution did not oppose him granting the motion. So all this is pretty much saying is they're going to just take down some pictures before a black man go on trial. But you know what? My question, how many black men were tried in this same courtroom and those portraits were up? And what kind of sentence did those black men get? And how many innocent black people did this courtroom or Fairfax County put in jail over the years? That is more significant to me than you taking down these little dried up looking judges on the walls. I mean, oh boy. You can't expect these people to understand because they don't go through racism, ladies and gentlemen. So when they try to do these symbolic things, it's always going to be something that falls short from what really should be done. Plain and simple. And this is just one more thing that falls short on what really should be done in courtrooms around America. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.